in chat? There's probably cat hair in my beard. There's always cat hair in my beard. Not that I have much of a beard right now. Alright. It's time. We got it. We got it. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Friday. Woo! May 28th, 2021. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. That was hot. I just poured that into the French press. The French press. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Denise. There's a name I don't usually see on the show. French press. It's like 2 cups. Less work. Less coffee grounds in the coffee. So here's a question for you. Did you watch, or at least, good morning, Frank? Look at all my friends here. Did you watch, or at least listen to, yesterday's episode of Martial Arts Radio on the How to Fight? Denise is in New Jersey for the long weekend, so the dog is in the backyard, doesn't have to be walked. Yes. Denise is typically walking her dog in the city. Does everywhere refer to it as the city? At least in New England, if we said, oh, you know, they went down to the city, we know that means New York City. Yeah, so the How to Fight episode yesterday. Did you guys all watch that? I was doing a little bit of analysis yesterday, and it seemed like it did okay initially. You know, made a couple optimizations. Andrew and I talked about a couple things on the YouTube side. And I woke up this morning I checked it just now, double the views it had yesterday. So I think we're doing some things right. I think some of the things we're doing are working. Look at all these people coming in. Probably because most of you are taking the day off. Maybe some of you. I don't take the day off. And just a heads up, I will be here on Monday. I will do a show on Monday because I'm still working Monday. I don't know if all my clients are working. I know one of my, because remember, Monday's my meeting day. I know at least one client canceled the meeting. We'll see. We'll see about the others. Oh no, I know at least one of them is happening. The plan for Sunday and Monday is just to get in the garden and do more work out there. Garden and weed whacking. I'm looking at stuff that the landscaper didn't do. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't happen every time he comes, but just chipping away and making this little square of the universe my own. Stacy says, I will admit not, but I'm so not a martial arts movie person, so don't count my lack of viewing as a lack of interest overall. No worries. It's, why did we make that show? I think I talked about this, but I'll talk about it again. Because who knows who saw that conversation and who saw this one. If you take a look at media, social media, good morning, Francis. Denise says, it's in the podcast queue, but I haven't listened yet. Should get there over the weekend. If you have the chance to watch, this one's going to be a lot more valuable as a viewing because we cut segments of the movie into our show just to illustrate what we talk about. Now, you should be able to get the majority of the impact from listening, but if you haven't watched the movie recently, you definitely want to watch it on YouTube. Think of the ways that people make a name for their business. They spend a lot of money on ads. They spend a lot of money on social media. They get a lucky break with a magazine or television or whatever feature. They hire brand ambassadors. Or they create some controversy. Now, we've tried almost all of those things. I've put a lot of money into advertising over the years. We've been featured in Black Belt. We've done everything. And when I take a big step back and I look at what we do as a company, the thing that brings people in so they become aware of what we do the most, it's the podcast. Nothing that we do is better as what in my profession I refer to as an entry point to the whistlekick brand as the podcast. Well, where are we struggling with the podcast? It's on YouTube. This is where we struggle, right? I mean, I'm the first one to admit, we've got 6 people watching live right now, and that's more than average. That's awesome. It's also an early morning show, and nobody on the West Coast is getting up this early, except Gabe once in a while. But when we took a look at how do we create controversy, every way I was coming up with bumped into something that I had an issue with. I wasn't going to call somebody out. I wasn't going to make fun of somebody. I wasn't going to point fingers and say, this movie sucks, or that person sucks, or that forum sucks. I didn't want to do that. And if you look at most social media today, there are people, if you look at, there are some TikTok accounts that I follow, and the entire premise is, I have an opinion, and I'm going to continually respond to the trolls. I don't want trolls. I don't want us to be that. There's too much of that in the world. So I said, how do we go after something that has name recognition in such a way that we're not being jerks, that we're not violating our integrity? Oh, we will talk about how we would fight the movie characters that the martial arts actors play. So that's what led to that show. We'll do another one. I don't know what we'll do yet. We'll figure it out. Well, it's Friday. Friday of a holiday weekend here in the U.S. A lot of people are taking today off. A lot of people are taking Monday off. They're getting a 4-day weekend. I have mixed feelings on whether or not I'm jealous. Because for me, the amount of work I've got to do is the same. So do I want to take the day off and have more work to do on Tuesday? Or do I want to just kind of enjoy the more relaxed pace of the day? And that's ultimately what I do. I'm not opposed to going away, not that we go away anymore. But, let's say Monday. Monday's going to be a pretty chill day for me. I'll do the show. I'll catch up on a few things. There will probably be some emails that come in over the weekend. We'll go from there. Oh, heads up. You know what I sent in yesterday? I placed a very small order for black sparring gear. It's time. Now, I can't promise it's going to end up on Amazon because Amazon is being really, really stupid, and I hate them right now. Remember that Taekwondo uniform I was trying to get them to send back? Nope, still haven't done it. It's been over 2 months. 2 months, Amazon. So, I think what you're going to see, I'm going to be really honest, prices are going to go up, and we're probably going to stop using Amazon. Why are prices going to go up? Because we don't ship enough that we get really good discounts. And remember, we get free shipping. So, when you buy a pair of boots for $30-something, $32, and you get free shipping, and people use a discount code, and we have to pay for the boots, and we make $3, it's not worth it. So it'll slowly march up. So the reason I'm telling you that is because I figure the people who watch this show are the people who are probably the most involved with whistlekick. They pay the most attention. You all are the biggest fans. I mean, let's be real. You're watching me in a bathrobe drink coffee. You're a fan of what we do. So that means when that gear hits, I'll let you know, and then I want you to order. And the prices will go up over time. Head, hands, and feet. No shins right now. Any of the other colors are going to have to wait. We've got to get some momentum going on the gear again. So, what else is going on? What is going on today? This is going to be a fun weekend. So today, head up to Burlington. Go to the co-working space. I got a couple projects that I'm working on. I got a call with Frank today at noon. Pumped to talk to him. We haven't talked in a few weeks. And I got other stuff on the docket. Chris sent me back his feedback on the flexibility, the write-up. So I got to go through that. We got to bat some things back and forth. We're trying to come up with a tone The biggest challenge I think we're going to have is finding a balance between making the information readable and justifying what we say scientifically. It's kind of a tough thing to do. If you just kind of rattle off normal, everyday speak, but then you put a bunch of scientific footnotes in there, does that work? We don't know. We're playing with that. So that's number one. Number two, the audio for Faith is up. I'm just waiting on Audible to accept it. They may reject it. They may have some things that need to be changed. But as soon as that's done, you will get to hear it. I will be honest. With the Invisalign, I recorded it with that because it was hours, and I didn't want to take these things out for hours because I wanted to, I'm trying to fix my teeth. Okay. Julius did a better than expected job at cutting out some of the places where I messed up. I went through, I listened to a bunch of it, and it's really good. I am pleasantly surprised. I was nervous people were going to listen to it and go, ugh, Jeremy, I can't do it. But I carved out a sample. I listened to a few places to think about a sample. I picked a spot that was exciting because I want to get you hooked. And it's good. It's good. I think I did a decent job. This is the first time I read anything where I adjusted my voice based on the dialogue. There are different characters in the book. They get a slightly different inflection from my voice. And I think I even knocked it out consistently. So that'll be up sometime soon. We've got several other books in process. The health-related book took another step this week. So we got that going. The magazine is on track. That should release. It may go to the printer as soon as next week. We committed to early June. We have a timeline. Justin emailed me yesterday, gave me a couple articles to write, or to choose from to write, because, yeah, I'm going to have writing in there. We have photos. Stacy and I figured that out. We got some photos that we can pick from. But, something that was really interesting, as I went through it with Justin on Tuesday, it doesn't look like it needs photos. Now, we're going to probably put some in, but we're not going to use them as filler the way a lot of magazines do. A lot of magazines take photos and they're like, look at this big full-page image. Now we don't have to write words. It's not what we're going to do. Any other projects that are going on that I should give you updates for? I don't think so. And so then this evening, one of my oldest friends, Caleb, is coming in from Maine. He's driving over this evening. He actually went to school in Vermont, so he knows Vermont very well. And he's going to come hang out for a couple days. He's going to leave Sunday. And we're just going to chill out and watch TV and catch up. And weather's going to be meh. So probably won't do much outside, but I'm looking forward to that. Leave Sunday. Out to the garden it is. Putting in more things, digging and trenching and dirt and whatever. I'll probably have to go buy more dirt. Fortunately, I've got a compost place like 8 miles that way. They make good stuff. It's affordable. So I'm excited. It's going to be a good weekend. Is anybody doing anything exciting this weekend? While I start reading this stuff, seeing what you guys gave me, let me know what you're doing this weekend in the chat. Why is this not? Come on. It won't flip. It's not flipping. It's making me hold it this way. What questions or comments did you give me? I got some stuff from Frank, including jokes. Let's read Frank's joke. So, Funday Friday. How can you tell if a hamburger was grilled in space? It's a little meteor. What's Snoop Dogg's favorite part of grilling? The sizzle. Why was the man at the cookout so happy? He met the grill of his dreams. My buddy is awesome at grilling steaks. They are all very well done. Stacy is reading 2 books by friends, having a bonfire with Laura, aka the other half of Team Smashy Smash, and relearning her forms because she's getting back into Taekwondo classes after 14 months. Is that what I saw? Denise says, just a barbecue in the backyard. You know what? I don't think we get to say just. Anytime other people are involved, after what we've all been through, I don't think just is in order. I think a backyard barbecue sounds great. In fact, there's a good chance that's what Caleb and I do. Just throw things on the grill. Karate class on Zoom looks like it will be in the rain. Well, if it's a warm rain, although it's a little early in the year for a warm rain. A grill master wanted to load up the grill with more barbecue, but he was running low on hot coals. So he decided not to brisket. You can imagine my surprise when I saw James Bond making burgers in the park. I guess he had a license to grill. And the final one. My grammar may be poor, but my grilling is impeccable. I'd stake my reputation on that. Frank says it's National Barbecue Month. You know, there's something really interesting, really primal about a barbecue. That if you I think, here's my suspicion. Here's why I think this is such a big deal for us. Imagine humankind, man, Homo sapiens, a long, long time ago. What would you imagine they would have done? They would have gone out and tried to kill something and then try to cook it. And everybody would have hung around the fire waiting for it to be done. What do men tend to do at a barbecue? Not just men, but what do people tend to do at a barbecue? They hang around the grill and wait for the meat to be done. There's something in it. There's something in that. And because I don't hide things, I try to be as open as I can. I have started eating turkey. I spent weeks thinking about it. My body was asking for something different than fish, which in a landlocked state like Vermont, it's a struggle to get good variety and quality fish. And so I had turkey last night, and my body was pretty pumped about it. Here are more facts about the Medal of Honor. If you haven't been tuning in this week, we've been reading quotes and talking about the Medal of Honor, the Congressional Medal of Honor. And Frank's been giving us quotes from people who received it and a bunch of information. How many Medals of Honor have been awarded for each military service branch? Army, 2,457. Navy, 749. The Marine Corps, 300. The Air Force, 19. And the Coast Guard, 1. People forget that the Coast Guard is an armed, one of the branches of the military. I looked at enlisting in the Army National Guard at one point. There was a recruiter who made a really good case in my 20s. Because I had a degree, I would have gone in with rank. But what killed it, if I remember correctly, what killed it wasn't the weekends. It was the 2 weeks a year. I think that's what it was at that point. I don't know what it is now. And at the time, I had my IT company. And I struggled to take time off. And I knew that taking 2 weeks off, even if it was 1 week, 2 separate times, I knew that the business wasn't going to survive that. And when I do something, I'm all in on it. I was all in on that business. I'm all in on whistlekick. I really only have 2 settings. I do it or I don't. If something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Denise says, I love turkey burgers. And yay for books and bonfires. Stacy says, warm, what's that? Yeah, I turned the heat on. Did you guys hear that? I had the heat on because it was 37 when I woke up. Is it illegal to buy or sell the Medal of Honor? Yes. Oh, interesting. The Stolen Valor Act of 2013 makes it illegal to buy or sell the Medal of Honor, its ribbon, or its rosette, including replicas or reproductions. The law also applies to historical versions and designs of the medal. Oh, fascinating. I'm thinking back when I was 8, 9, 10. I went through a phase where I was, like wearing camouflage everywhere. And I think when the Iraq War started, I was in 6th grade, I think, when that all started. So they couldn't have been from there. But somewhere along the way when I was young, somebody had connections to somebody in the service, and they were sending me medals. There are dress uniform medals that don't fit the same criteria, I guess. And so I would pin on all the bars and pretend I was a soldier. Wow, I remember this. I remember one time I was fully decked out. I even had a camouflage hat. Woodland camo, the old style, not the new stuff. And we had an old corded phone, and the pants I had cargo pockets. And I put the phone in the pocket because it was like a radio. And I went and I played in the woods. Man, being a kid was great. That was like the pinnacle of being a child. It was like you had everything you needed for your imagination to take hold. And now we're like, man, where am I going to get money to eat? It's not literally what's going on, but you know what I mean? Life just has a whole different context as an adult. The things that we care about, the things we worry about are so different. I would go back if I could. Would you? Would you go back to being a kid? There are plenty of things I love about being an adult, but there are a lot of things I miss about being a kid. The world was a kinder place. Can someone receive more than one Medal of Honor? Yes. There have been 19 servicemen who have received 2 Medals of Honor. Can you imagine serving with someone who has received 2 Medals of Honor? Can you imagine being like out there with them and no, we'll be fine. We've got, Captain America over here. 2 Medals of Honor. That's great. Denise says those cargo pockets are amazing. Yeah. I've seen martial arts uniforms that have cargo pockets. Now, I'm not going to wear that. But I get it. I completely get it. I have one of the uniform designs that I played with in my mind involved doing inside pockets. If you're familiar with the company Scotty Vest, their original product, and they've got a bunch of things now, but their original product was a vest that had a ridiculous number of pockets, like 20-something pockets. And they've even got versions now where you can put like a full-size iPad. And the premise was, if you're traveling, like if you're flying on a plane, you can just unzip and put your vest on the conveyor. And you have all your stuff, and they can still scan it. And you don't have to worry about unloading your pockets. It's easy. They've got other stuff now. But what if we made a uniform like that? What if we made a gi or a dobok or something like that? I think that would be kind of interesting. I wouldn't wear it, but I think plenty of people would. You've got the phone here, and maybe there's a pocket in here. Lots of ways you could do it. But what's interesting about the Scotty Vest products, and I have no affiliation, I've never even bought anything from them because the stuff, it's interesting, but it's not something I would use enough to justify the expense because the stuff is not cheap. I lost my train of thought. The stuff that I like about, one of the things I like about their stuff is that you can't see the pockets from the outside. You don't know that there are, 400 pockets on this sweatshirt. Kind of cool. Those of you watching, if you can, hit that thumbs up button for me. This is a big Friday show, and I appreciate it. And we've got one more quote here. Hope you guys will give me some stuff to talk about on Monday. I'll, of course, tell you about what I did over the weekend. But we will do this on Monday. And shout out to Frank for making sure I have stuff to talk about. And I will talk to you in 5 hours and 5 minutes, my friend. What percentage of Medal of Honor recipients were enlisted? What percentage were officers? For the military service members for whom we have ranks, 77% of Medal of Honors have gone to enlisted personnel, 23% to officers. That says something about the conditions under which they typically award this. Officers aren't as often, my understanding, I don't know, but my understanding, aren't as often on the front line. They're back a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm guessing it's that. It could also be based on a per capita thing. If you've got more people who are enlisted versus officers. Yeah, so if I was working a different job in my 20s, I may maybe get it. At this point, if I was doing this, there's a version of the future where I'm getting close right now to retiring from my career in the National Guard. Because I probably would have done 20 years and had whatever those benefits would have been. And I'll be honest, it didn't hurt that the recruiter was a cute girl. I should say woman. She was an attractive woman. Okay, I'm gonna go. I want to thank all of you for watching, for tuning in. If you have not watched yesterday's episode of Martial Arts Radio, 609, where we unpack, where we talk about how to fight Jeff Speakman's character, Jeff Sanders, in the movie The Perfect Weapon, please go do so. I'd love your feedback. I would love for you to comment on it. Hit the thumbs up button. Do the same thing with this. I'd love for you to give me some comments on this episode after the show closes for things to talk about on Monday. I hope you will join us on Monday because we do the show, yes, every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. But of course, you can catch it later in your podcast feed. If you want to support the work that we do at Whistlekick, I'm going to give you 3 big things that you can do that involve money and one that doesn't. One, you can go to whistlekickmartialartsradio.com and leave us a tip. There's a tip jar there through PayPal. 2, you could go to whistlekick.com and you could use the code FIRSTCUP15 to buy something like this mug or something else. Get 15% off. Show that you appreciate what we do. And then the third thing, you could support our Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. You get a bunch of exclusive stuff starting at $2 a month. And in fact, one of the things I'm doing today is unpacking Patreon. We probably have some new benefits coming. So stay tuned on that, and no, it will not. If you were already a member, it's not going to change anything. This is not a, oh man, you're rewarding the new people and ignoring the established people. I hate when companies do that. We will not do that. And the one free thing that you could do is to just find somebody that you know that loves martial arts and say, hey, are you aware of Whistlekick and what they're working on? Tell them what we do. Give them some ideas of how to engage with all the different stuff that we've got going on. Okay. That's it. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. If I don't see you Monday, maybe I'll see you Tuesday. Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your time. And I'll see you then. Take care, everybody.